Hi students, very good morning. Today in this lecture, we will be learning regarding vapor pressure in the solution with non-volatile solute. See, yesterday we have learned something like vapor pressure only vapor pressure. What is meant by vapor pressure? And with volatile solute in volatile solvent. Now, non-volatile solute in the volatile solvent. Okay? Means that solution contains solute as well as the solvent, and solute is non-volatile. Non-volatile means it doesn't evaporate. Okay, non-volatile solute examples are solids. And remember that always here we are talking only with respect to non-electrolyte. Means whatever the solute you are taking, it is not getting dissociated or associated. Okay, non-volatile here. See, the solids you are taking are urea, glucose, sucrose. You should not take NaCl, acetic acid like that. Because if you take NaCl, it gets dissociated into 2, Na plus Cl minus again. Okay. We are not talking with respect to that one. With respect to that one, we will be talking in the last session. Right? First we are taking only what? Non-volatile solute. That too, if you take how many particles? If you take 100 particles, those particles will be as 100 only in the solvent. And solvent is a volatile liquid, like it gets evaporated. H2O, CH2O, HCH2, H5O, ethyl alcohol, benzene, toluene, like this. Okay, right. In this type of solution, vapor pressure is only due to solvent. So if you mix these two types, what happens? This one will not get evaporated. In the previous case, if you see, if you take volatile solute will get evaporated, solvent will get evaporated. But in this case, only solvent will be getting evaporated because solute is non-volatile. Suppose I am taking a container. In that container, you are having a volatile solvent. Solvent you are taking volatile. So assume that always solvent is represented with A, solute is represented with B. What happens? You are taking a pure solvent A. It gets evaporated generally. Okay. Whatever the pressure exhibited by the pure one, it is called as P naught A plus non-volatile solute. Means it doesn't evaporate. Now what you are doing? You are adding this non-volatile solute to the solvent. You have added. What happens now? It forms a solution. These particles will occupy some of the surface of A. See here generally only all A particles they get evaporated. If you add B, some space on the surface is occupied by B. So what happens? The number of particles of A getting evaporated will get decreased. So B does not evaporate. Okay, if B gets evaporated, that is different condition already we have discussed. Here B doesn't get evaporated and does not make the solvent molecules to evaporate. Generally solvent molecules will be getting evaporated. This one gets, that B gets settled on the surface of the solvent molecules and does not make the solvent molecules to get evaporated. Okay. So when you compare with this one, pure solvent with the solution, which one is having more vapor pressure or more partial pressure? This one is having more because it doesn't have any particles of B. Here it is lesser. Okay, so P naught A is the vapor pressure of the pure A and PA is the vapor pressure of the solution, and P naught A is greater than PA. Okay, P naught A pure one is greater than compared to PA. Why means solution contains non-volatile solute. Okay. So now what we can say according to Raoult's law, whatever the substance is getting evaporated is directly proportional to the mole fraction of that substance. So we are getting only solvent is getting evaporated. So partial pressure of the solvent will be directly proportional to the mole fraction of the solvent. That is what Raoult's law. So in a solution, the partial pressure of any volatile component is directly proportional to the mole fraction of that particular component. So partial pressure is directly proportional to the mole fraction of a only solvent. So we know that this one can be written as partial pressure is equal to P naught A mole fraction of A. This is one condition. In another way, another formula also can be written. Generally, we have got this formula PA is equal to P naught A XA, and XA can be written as 1 minus XB because mole fraction of solvent plus mole fraction of solute is equal to 1. Okay, so mole fraction of the solvent you can write it as 1 minus mole fraction of the solute. So multiply P naught A with 1. So you will get P naught A minus P naught A into mole fraction of B solute. Okay. Now what happened? Now you make this, you bring this one here, P naught A mole fraction of B, this PA of solution. Okay. See, P naught A is always for solvent, pure solvent. Pa is for solution. So if you bring this one this side, what happens? P naught A minus pure solvent vapor pressure minus solution vapor pressure, and you make XB, this is the mole fraction of B, then you will be getting P naught A minus PA by P naught A. Clear? The same thing, once you check this, you will be getting this. And here, P naught A minus PA means this is the P naught A is the vapor pressure of the pure solvent, and this one is the solution. How much it has been deferred? Suppose if you take solvent as 100, PA is lesser, because suppose if you take solution is 80, the difference you are getting is 20, right? Initially it is 100. By adding solute, it has gone to 80. See how much the vapor pressure of the solution has been lowered, you are getting here. So P naught A minus PA, it is called as lowering of vapor pressure. See, this is the pure substance, this is for solution. In solution, the vapor pressure has been lowered. How much it has been lowered? It is nothing but P naught A minus PA. You can get in this way. And if you divide it by original thing, P naught A minus PA, lowering of vapor pressure by P naught A, then that is called as, means you are comparing how much it is decreased, you are comparing with the original one. Then that is called as relative lowering of vapor pressure, and it is represented with RLVP. Okay? P naught A minus PA by P naught A is equal to relative lowering of vapor pressure, and XB, it is the mole fraction of the solute. So two types of formulas you can obtain. One is partial pressure of the solvent will be equal to pure vapor pressure of the solvent into mole fraction of solvent, or mole fraction of the solute is equal to P naught A solvent pure vapor pressure minus solution vapor pressure by solvent vapor pressure, right? So these two are the important formulas what you can use in solving the problems. And see here, properties of the solution which depend upon the number of solute particles and not on the nature of the solute particles. Okay, there is one property. That property that depends only upon the number of particles. It depends upon the number of moles. It may be 1 mole, 2 mole means 2 into 6 into 10 power 23, or 3 moles means 3 into 6 into 10 power 23. In the same way, molecules or ions or mole fraction means these are the terms which depends only on the number of particles. And this one and this property doesn't depend upon the nature of the particle, what type of particle it is. Okay. Whether it is ionic compound, whether it is covalent compound or coordinate covalent compound or hydrogen modifying compound, it doesn't depend upon that. The property which depends only upon the number of particles but not on the nature of the particle. Such type of property, it is called as colligative property. And this one, P naught minus PA by P naught A, it is called as relative lowering of vapor pressure. It can be represented here, RLVP. It is equal to, see, it is equal to what? Mole fraction of the solute. So mole fraction of the solute, and mole fraction of the solute can be written as number of moles of solute particles by total number of moles of the solution. Okay? And you remember that always the particle or whatever the solute particle you are adding, it should be non-electrolyte. Non-electrolyte means it should not get dissociate or associate. No dissociation. See, vapor pressure, P naught minus PA is called as lowering of vapor pressure. See, vapor pressure is not a colligative property, but relative lowering of vapor pressure is colligative property. Vapor pressure should not take as colligative property, right students? RLVP, how much it has been decreased with respect to the original one, it is called as relative vaporing pressure. Then that is the colligative property that depends upon the number of particles, right? Let us take some examples. See, question is the vapor pressure of the pure H2O is 60 mmHg at some temperature. Find the vapor pressure of the solution containing 30 grams of urea dissolved in 72 grams of water. See, you can go for the formula directly. So, vapor pressure of pure water means P naught, this is pure. This is how much? 60 minus PA by 60. This is P naught A. And what he is telling? Find the vapor pressure of the solution means he is asking PA. 60 is pure thing he has given. Containing 30 grams of urea. Urea, what is the formula of urea? NH2, CO, NH2. If you go for the molecular weight, you will be getting 60. Okay. 30 grams is present in 60 grams urea and 72 grams of water. 72 grams of water. What is the molecular weight of water? It is 18. So if you take it should be equal to mole fraction of the solute. So mole fraction of the solute is equal to number of moles of urea by total number of moles. Urea, how many grams he has taken? 30 grams or 30 by 60. It is the molecular weight. This one, urea, 30 by 60 plus 72 by 18. Solvent this is, right? Okay, 1 by 2 by 1 by 2 plus 4. So you will be getting 0.5 by 44.5. It is equal to 1 by 9. So what is this 1 by 9? This is the mole fraction of the solute. So 60 minus PA by 60 is equal to 1 by 9. Now you can solve the PA. So PA at last by solving you will be getting 53.33. So one more method of solving this is PA equal to, so we have drawn with respect to solute. If you go with respect to solvent, PA is equal to P naught A into mole fraction of A. So PA is equal to, because PA is nothing but, you will be getting vapor pressure of the solution only due to with respect to solvent, right? So only solutions is nothing but it is due to solvent only we are getting. So you can write in this way. So PA is equal to P naught A into XA. Okay, 60 into 4 by 4.5 will be equal to 160 by 3. It is equal to 53.33. Anyway, it is correct only. We are getting here from with respect to solid. This is with respect to solvent. Solvent means number of moles of solvent by total number of moles. Okay, right. Calculate the mass of the non-volatile solute. See, you can follow any process, right? Calculate the mass of the non-volatile solute. Molecular mass is 40 grams. Required to dissolve 114 grams of octane in lowering of vapor pressure due to 80%. So, lowering of vapor pressure is 80%. Means initially if you take it as 100, how much it is lowered? You have got 80. Okay. So, 100 minus 80 by 100 is equal to mole fraction of B. Mole fraction of B means how much? Number of moles of B by total number of moles. So, number of moles of B, how much? You don't know. So, it is X by, so you don't know weight. You take it as weight as X by 40 by total number of moles. X by 40 plus 114 by, what is the molecular weight of octane? It is also 114. Or indirectly you can calculate 20 by 100. You will be getting 1 by 5. So mole fraction of B is this one. And number of moles of B by total number of moles. Okay. And what is the number of moles of A? This one, solvent. Solvent is octane, right? He is taking 114 grams. And molecular weight, if we calculate for C8H9, it is also 114. So 114 by 114 is 1. So we are taking 1 here. NB by 1 plus NB. By subjecting NB, you will be getting NB is equal to 1 by 4. He is asking weight, right? X is equal to what? This NB is nothing but weight by molecular weight, right? X by 40. It is equal to 1 by 4 and X will be equal to 10 grams. Okay, this is one method and the sum just directly you can solve. See like this. 100 minus 80 by 100 is equal to X by 40 by X by 40 plus 114 by 114. Directly if you solve like this, you will be getting 10 grams. Okay. Next. The vapor pressure of the pure H2O is 12.3, that is P naught A he has given kilopascals at 300 Kelvin. Find the vapor pressure of the solution containing 1 molar non-volatile solute. Okay. What is the meaning of 1 molar non-volatile solute? 1 molar means 1 mole of solute is 1000 grams of solvent. That is what molality is, nothing but, right? So, solute is always represented with NB and solvent is this one. Solute, number of moles means it has become 1 mole, so it is NB is 1 mole, and solvent, it is 1000 grams, so it is Na by 1000 by 18. 1000 means, because this is 1000 grams of solvent by, what is the molecular weight? It is 18, so it is equal to 55.55. So, P naught A minus PA by P naught A is equal to mole fraction of the solute. P naught A, how much you have got? 12.3 minus PA, you should calculate that one, by P naught A, that is 12.3 is equal to mole fraction, this is number of moles of the solute by total number of moles, 1 plus solvent moles is this one. If you calculate PA, you will be getting this one. Or one more method, like 1 mole of solute is in 1000 grams means you are having 1000 grams of solvent. With respect to the solvent, if you talk, PA is equal to P naught A into XA. P naught A is 12.3 into mole fraction of A. It is 1000 by 18 by 1000 by 18 plus 1. This is 55.5 by 55.5 plus 1. So on solving, you will be getting 12.08 kilo pascals. Thank you, students. This is for today. Have a nice day.